Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? My name's Charlotte, and welcome to Charles Classic Corner, episode 1, featuring one of my favourites, Ladimus Prime. Welcome. How are you? You
I'm good.
okay?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
A bit better, yeah.
Perfect. And tonight we are going to be talking about one of your probably all-time favourites, if I have to say, Perlo. This man here. Okay, so I've got some questions and let's get started. So, how long have you when did you first realise that he was a good player and you realised him and you recognised him?
I've always known about Pirlo. I would say, when was the international tournament when England were in the same group with Italy and Uruguay? Is that Euro 2012?
Yeah, that must have been, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Euro 2012. I think when he dominated England's midfield. Well, I say dominated. He didn't do anything special, to be honest. England was so bad. But the
Yeah.
pundits were all gassed about Pirlo. But because I knew about him before, but I didn't really focus on him, I was just like, I don't know, that just made me get a focus on him a bit more and stuff. And I've always wanted him at Chelsea, to be honest, but the way we played, he never would have suited us, to be fair. And it shows because we have Jorginho, and even though he's not of the quality of Pirlo, Jorginho is extremely underappreciated and underrated by our fans. So
I
I don't
agree
think
there.
Pirlo would have worked.
So, if you had to, would you prefer Perlo in this current team, or in which team would
No,
you like to see Perlo in?
under Sarri.
That would be a nice, because he's basically done everything in football. He's done he's done bronze medal, he's done Champions League, like every cup he's probably got apart from
He,
Premier
ha-
League.
he hasn't won the Champions League, unfortunately.
He,
Has he?
he did at
No.
Milan,
Well, at Juve.
UEFA
Well, no,
at
at Juve.
Milan.
At Juve, he hasn't.
Oh no, at Juve, but that he has at Milan. He won that twice,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah. At Milan, yeah. But
he? Which was his like? What do you think your favourite kind of team where he was at? Like Milan, Madrid, like
Milan,
Barista?
Milan's probably the most famous, isn't it?
Yeah, like everyone knows that. That kind of made him, to be fair, because he wasn't as well known in his hometown, but he, when he came to Milan, it kind of boosted his confidence there.
Yeah, that's true. But funny enough, he actually used to be like a cam when he was, younger, I guess. In his more youthful days. But yeah,
Yeah, no, he did a lot at Milan, didn't he? He did basically most of the cups there, and he did it twice. Do you think Milan was his best performance, or do you think that he was better performances at other teams like Juventus, Madrid? Like, which was his better performance, do you think?
don't know because he won so many trophies at Juve, but the Champions Leagues at Milan and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know because it's the Champions League and European trophy. You have to say Milan,
Yeah, no, I
but
suppose you do.
yeah, but the guy is just so special to me. Maybe unpopular opinion, but I might trade him for Lampard.
Controversial there.
So long as the system was built around him at Chelsea, yeah. But again, Lampard did so much, so you can't really say that, can I?
Yeah, no, I can see why you'd want him. Like he's like, how do you feel about him being as manager of Juventus?
He's way too early. Same thing about Lampard, way too early.
Yeah. Do you think he will succeed though?
If he's given time. But he Yeah, if he's given
it's a
time.
weird one. But it's a bit like
But,
Chelsea, like you've got to give him
yeah,
time.
but I think at Juve he's being allowed. He's being allowed
Yeah,
to fail, I guess, so he can he's been allowed to learn. Whereas at Chelsea, because of
we
the
expect.
media and our fans and everything, a
Yeah,
lot of
like
a lot of us are overreacting. To be fair,
yeah, no, I agree. Like you do get the overreaction, but you think if he has time, he could succeed.
I hope so. I really do hope so. But I don't know. I don't. I mean, he's still in the title race, which he should be. But
Yeah, he should be with the team
yeah,
he's got.
but I like what he's trying to do. He's trying to kind of bring back the old ethos, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, the way he's playing is actually quite interesting.
Oh, that's yeah. No, I have watched him a couple of times, and
Yeah,
like yeah, he doesn't seem to be like struggling. Like it's just that kind of building bridges and getting used to it and cementing that like concrete floor, so you have like something to walk on because he is new to it. Like you can play football like Frank did, but you still need to learn.
exactly. And he's my Juve are my favorites to win the Champions League since Chelsea aren't doing it. So
I know they literally are your fave. Do you think he was the greatest deep playing playmaker midfielder
uh,
ever
yes, yeah,
of all time or ever?
he's better than Xavi. He's better than
Yeah.
Xavi Alonso. And those are the two other greats that people talk about. So yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Like he definitely had such great when he had possession, he had possession and he was tactically very good with it. Also his curling in for the corners. Is it for the corners or free kicks? No, his free kicks. When he used to curl them in for the free kicks, he was good at that, wasn't he?
Yeah, well,
They
both really. He's just a maestro.
he used to make
The way he dictates a game, it's
yeah,
it's something I want to do. I think it's something
yeah,
that if you're patient and you understand the game like that, because I don't know, he's just different breed, really. Well, I don't know him as a person, but like he's just so calm and relaxed.
yeah, because he didn't get that many goals, but he assisted and his possession on the ball was incredible. But I mean, he didn't particularly. I think he got like seven. Is it 170 something goals in his career? But it wasn't that many. But his assist rate was ridiculous, and his possession was like 90%. Because when he got that ball, you weren't getting it back. Like you really weren't. And I think people look back and they're like, I don't think you're going to get another one of him. Like you can't like clone him or make him different. He is
Ooh,
literally. Do you think?
you say that. Sandro Tonali.
Yeah,
Um, he's at Milan now, I think. Yeah, Sandro Tonali. He is supposed to be the next Pirlo, uh, which I've been keeping an eye on him. He's good, very young. I would like him at Chelsea one day. But
yeah. You've got to
yeah,
get him to have that experience.
the guy's so young, but he's so talented.
It's true. I mean, do you think do you think he could be as good as Perlo or like maybe just under? Like
If he can have half the career Pirlo has had, it will be a success.
that is true. He is doing very
I
well
think
at the
he'll be
minute.
on. You can't. I don't like comparing players and having unrealistic expectations.
That's true. And that's how you get problems when you have unrealistic expectations.
Exactly.
What do you think like your best moment for Perlo was? Like your best ever Perlo moment ever? Do you have more than one?
No, I just think it's that England game. Again, because I like trolling England fans. So that
Ladimus
like
Prime. I mean,
what that
and
what that Panenka penalty he took against Joe Hart, that was brilliant as well. So yeah,
I can't even deny that. I really can't. Like, it was a good penalty. Like, I can't even like say anything. But what's your worst moment for him?
Champions League final. What, Barcelona when they lost?
Oh, yeah, that
And
was a
they could have,
bad one.
yeah, Juve got outplayed in that game.
They really did. That was definitely not on form. We've got Anthony in the house. He says, "Hi, Charlotte and Prime. Do you think Arsenal will win tonight?" Do you, Prime? They're playing Crystal Palace.
5-1 Arsenal.
Oh, you heard it from Prime here. 5-1 to Arsenal.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, win the game. Yeah, why not?
Football United TV said, Pirlo and Gasso, a good Italian partnership. What do you think about that, Prime?
What, Pirlo, Gattuso? Yeah. Gattuso was another. And again, this is what I keep talking about. But someone like Pirlo, he's not really that mobile, lacks pace. He can get easily pressed. Well, not easily, but pressed. He's actually quite press resistant, but you need to protect your players' deficiencies, which is why I keep talking about with Arsenal and Xhaka. You have to protect him because he doesn't have that pace. With Chelsea and Jorginho, you have to protect him because he doesn't have that pace and try and mitigate against his deficiencies. And that is what Milan and Juve did perfectly. They
Yeah, that's a
protected
fair
him a
point.
lot, which allowed him to play and flourish. Italy also did that as well brilliantly. They protected him, which allowed him to play.
Do you have any comment for this one? What is your top 5 Chelsea strikers of all time, and would Zola be in yours?
Drogba, Anelka, Costa. If Zola's a striker, then Zola, Hasselbank. Yeah, no, actually, I don't even know because I don't count Zola as a striker. To be fair,
I didn't like. He acted like one, but he wasn't technically classed as one.
yeah. So yeah, take out Zola and put in Good Johnson.
That
This
is a
is
good
all in
top
my
5.
lifetime anyway, as well. So I can't speak about anything beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what do you think about like putting like Pirlo in the Premier League? Like, how do you think he would have dealt with it? Like, do you think he would have succeeded? Do you think he would have struggled? Like, do you think he was even compatible with the Premier League?
Yes and no. Again, like I keep saying, you have to try and protect him. If it was with if when we had Ancelotti, yes, that would have worked. When we had Conte, that would have worked. Maybe Fergie at United, that would have worked. But yeah, I don't think there's
Yeah.
many other managers or many teams that would have been able to accommodate Pirlo.
Yeah, because he did really need to be protected because he wasn't particularly much of a strike. Like, he wasn't a goal scorer. Like, it wasn't his main position of scoring goals. He was a midfielder, and once he got the possession, you then had to protect him. And I think you have to be very careful with what teams you would put him in because you need a team that's stable enough to A, protect him, but B, be able to continue at the 100% with their full capacity. And if you don't have that, and that's very rare at the minute, like, you only have a few teams that could have done that. I think, to be fair.
Yeah,
But I mean,
but again, it's about adaptation and accommodating, and
oh no,
yeah,
you always have to adapt and accommodate. Agreed there. Like, the man was such. I don't even know. I don't know if he would fit in the Premier League. I feel like he was better. He's. I feel like where he went, I don't think he should have come to the Premier League. Just, I don't, because if Fergie and Manu hadn't offered him anything, I don't think like he should have come. Like Fergie with Manu at that time was probably the only way that he could have got into the Premier League. I don't particularly think there's another way, and I'm not sure if he would have done that well under Fergie. I'm not saying it's Fergie's the problem, but I don't know if he would have
no, no,
been
no,
able
no.
to
Fergie is a
manage.
problem.
Okay, what's your problem there?
No, I'm joking. I'm just trolling United fans. No, yeah, but I think it's probably a good thing Pirlo didn't come to the Prem.
Yeah, you would have literally loved that.
The English media and English fans, they don't understand players like that. Like you look at Paul Scholes and how much underappreciated he was. Yeah, Pirlo would have been a waste.
He really I feel like and he could have been he really would have been a waste, and unfortunately that's quite sad because you'd never want to see a player ever become a waste, especially a man like of this statute, like who's capable of what he's doing. You don't want him to be in that situation where he's not getting the right possession or the right position or being respected enough and not being played enough. Because obviously he needed protection, I don't think he would have got played enough, unfortunately. And I think that would have been a waste.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jorginho, and again, Jorginho's not on that level at all ever. But people don't understand what Jorginho does because they think because you play just behind or just in front of the defenders, people think you're a DM. And so many times I
Yeah.
have to explain to people that's not how it works. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think he was a very extremely talented human being, and I don't know if we'll see another one like him. Like we may not. You're never gonna know until it happens. But for me, it just watching him play was always so magical because when he had the ball, you knew magic was coming. Like he always did something to that game, and I mean, I don't think many players do that now. Like, I really don't.
No, but again, the day and age we play in, it's about systems. We don't. Well, again, Pirlo actually was a system player, I guess, because
He sort
you
of
had
was.
to get the best out of him, you had to play him in this sort of system. But yeah, I don't. We might not get a player like him ever again, which is
Yeah,
sad, but it's also a good thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think when you have those one-off players, it's always something to look back on how extremely talented they were and what they brought to a game. I think if you had them all the time, it just wouldn't be that special. But when you get someone like Perlo who turns up and absolutely turns the game into something different and when he gets the ball, it's like magic. I think that's a different kind of footballer to what we have now and what we had. I think. I mean, Will said Tonali is the closest thing we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yeah, he will be. But again, Tonali has to be treated properly, and knowing Italy, I think he will be. But I, I, I want him to come to Chelsea, but we won't play the way to get the best out of him. So he'll
Yeah,
be a
and then
waste.
and you don't want him to be a waste if he's capable of doing such good things. Anthony said he is a quality player for AC Milan and Italy. If he was younger in today's money, you'd be talking about 150 mil to 200 mil to get him. Is that correct about Perlo?
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's definitely worth the money, I think, and worth what you're going to get. I mean, I don't think you're going to get another one like him. But I mean, the man did do so much. World Cup, like bronze medal, like you're talking all trophies apart from Premier League, and like obviously he did the Champions League, the Series A, he did the Coppa Italia, like he literally did everything. Like the man didn't stop. Like but like when he went to New York, like how did you feel about that?
It's just, you know what people say about the MLS, it's a retirement home. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, so he just went there to retire 2 years, played with Villa and Lampard. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't think. Will says Tonali is at the perfect club now. Milan suits him, and he's going to help bring them back. Is that factual?
I don't know about bringing him back, but yeah, he'll be there for like 2-3 years before he goes to Juve.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely going to go to Juve. There's no chance about that.
Because Juve couldn't get Verratti to
Yeah,
replace Pirlo, so Tonali would be that replacement.
but I think
Actually, funny enough,
Pirlo.
Pirlo wanted Tonali this summer, but he went to Milan.
Yeah, I think
Or,
Pirlo will see the talent in him and then want him. And I think it's always good that when you've got a manager that sees the talent, that you kind of get what you want. Like, and he will. I think he'll go to Juve. I don't think it'll be a problem. But I mean, the man has done some good things, and I believe that he's probably. I believe personally that he is the greatest midfielder ever. Like, because personally for me, there's no one better. Like, name me someone better. Prime, Milan are better than Juventus. Do you agree? Disagree?
currently, yes. However, they're not going to win the Serie A.
Who do you
So
think is?
I think Juve will win it again, just based on the experience factor.
Was giving you a list as well. Hernandez, Tonali, Benacer, Mamagoli, Tomori. Do you think those players will benefit in Juve or Milan?
Hernandez, good player. Tonali, yes. Benacer, I don't watch enough of him. Or Magnoli, I don't think he's that good. Tomori, yes, will be a good loan move for him going to Milan. Donnarumma, his agent, is a pain to deal with.
Yeah. Bits and Bobs is with us. Yes, mate.
What up, Bobs?
Will says Inter Milan with Conte.
Inter with Conte, in my opinion.
I mean, that's fair enough. I don't know. Like it could Milan could win. Like they generally could win it, but I'd like Juve to win it, but Milan could. Like you don't know.
I think that's what makes it interesting this season. So
I
many
think,
clubs competing.
but if you look at all of the club tables right now, they're all very interesting. There's not one table that I'm like, oh, this team's gonna win. Like, can you call Serie A? No. Could you call a league? No. Could you call the Premier League? No. Like, I don't know which like you can call because it is like there are people dropping points everywhere. Like even in Serie A, like Juve have dropped points, Milan have dropped points. Everyone's dropped points, no
Yeah,
matter
but
they want to or not.
if Juve had an experienced manager, they would have ran away with it this season. So
No, I agree with you if they had, but they don't, and this is what makes it more interesting because it's a competition. and it makes it interesting. You're probably not going to see a title challenge like this anywhere. Like, you're really not.
Yeah, that's true. I think this season is important. If Italy or AC Milan win it this season, and I think that's the dominance of Juve officially broken. But if they can't win it in a season where they're rebuilding and Pirlo, he's doing just about as well as Lampard is at Chelsea. Well, actually, probably better than Lampard, I think. But he's doing quite average. If they can't win this Serie A, then it's going to be quite hard to ever win it again.
Yeah. Do you think that if they don't win it, you think Pirlo's done? Yeah. Or do you think
not done at no, not done at Juve.
I meant if they don't win it, do you think Pirlo will get the backlash of it? Will they, what do you think will happen if they don't win it this season, like, to Pirlo?
I think they should build with him. He needs experience around him, yes, but build with him because I think he can do something special.
I agree. Like, the man's a genius on the pitch, so why can't he be a genius off the pitch? It just takes him a minute to kind of understand and be okay with it, because he does need to learn, and we need to be acceptant that managers are going to come in now and they're going to need to learn, and we need to give them that time. Because I think if you give Pirlo 2 or 3 years, it'd be a different story. I really do. Do you agree?
Whole manager should be given time, yeah, but again, you also have to kind of repay that faith. But this season, Juve didn't really do much. They released a lot of players, but they didn't really buy properly for him.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. I mean, I think if Pirlo had got his way and he got the players he wanted, I think it may have been a different story. Yes, no? I think if he'd have got some of the players that he'd wanted, I think he could have worked with them a little bit better than what he had. Do you agree?
Well, yes, but he released a lot of players. A lot of players left because he wanted them gone. So
yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. He definitely did want them gone. But I mean, he does have a decent team at Juve. It's not like he's got the worst team in the world. It could be worse. He has some very incredible players there. And I think he just needs that time. And we need to be able to give that time. But it's the same with Frank Lampard. Do you think Frank should get more time?
Okay. Yes. But again, you have to show that faith. There are mistakes and stuff Frank's making because he's inexperienced and young.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't have a problem if Mount's out wide or Werner's out wide or Havertz is playing deeper like everyone else does, because I understand what you're trying to do, but tactically it's not working. So either you tweak it or you just change it to something that will work. Especially with this season, you didn't get a preseason to do trial and error. So you just have to try and get through it as best as you can.
Yeah, agreed there. I mean, yeah, we do have, I think a lot of people are kind of, a lot of people are kind of backlashing him. And I've been one of them. I've got frustrated with the situation. I think I've got frustrated that we're beating the lower league sides and we haven't beaten a top 6 yet. The only one we've got is a draw from Man U. And to me, I'd like to see a win in a top 6. You know what I mean? Because we're able to beat, West Ham was our top 10. So I'd like to beat a top 6 team, if you get what I mean. It would just be nice.
The reason why we can't, like I keep saying, I expect managers to get the best out of what they have. Now, the reason why we can't beat the bigger sides is because you're facing teams with squads that are just as good or maybe a little bit worse than ours. And you're
Yeah.
facing managers that are just as good, if not better than you.
No,
So
agreed.
I'm not expecting him to beat Jose, Pep, Klopp, Hassan Hutel, Rodgers, Carlo Ancelotti. Even as bad as Arsenal are, Lampard and Arteta are roughly on the same level. So I'm not expecting him to always beat Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I know it's going to be a challenge facing those sides.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not going to be a challenge. I get he needs time, but I would like to see us at least beat one Big Six team this season. I don't think that's like far-fetched to ask for or too much to ask for. Like, I don't think it's too much to ask for. I think I can ask for my team to want to beat a top six club. I think that's quite fair. I'm not saying I want all the matches won. I'm not saying that at all. Like, I get we're going to have trial and error, but I would like to see us at least beat one top six club, if you understand that. It's not, I'm not saying factual, but I would like it. I'm wishing for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would like that.
We're halfway through the season. So, like, again, I'm not worried about anything because, like, we're halfway through the season. We have 17, 16 more games to get through to rectify everything. So, actually, no, yeah, more. Yeah. We've got we've got games to rectify things. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We do. I have got very annoyed at some of the matches because I get frustrated because in some of the games it just looks like the players aren't turning up, and that for me frustrates me because I'm like, you're being paid so much money but you're just not turning up, and that's frustrating for me because I'm like, you're getting paid so much money and you're not doing what I expect, and that's just to come out and give 100%. I'm not saying it has to be perfect, but if you give me 100%, I'm going to have more faith in you and be like, yeah, this is great, than if you don't turn up with 100%. And I get not every game's going to be like 100% for everybody, but when everyone looks like they're not giving 100%, that for me is a bit like, hold on a minute, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Like, why are we turning up like this? But I don't know why. And that's the problem. Like, so many people have said it's Lampard, like, but it's a 50-50. You can't just blame Lampard, but then you can't just blame the players. The players have like at least a 60% to take full credit of the fact that they messed up. And then Frank can only take that little percentage because he can only do so much. But then I think he could have changed formations, he could have played players. But then I get that we've had people injured in that. And that also factors into what he's done. Like, how do you feel about that?
Players don't. We live in a day and age. Players don't really take responsibility, and
I agree.
as fans, we exempt players from responsibility as well. So because Werner's missing goals, it's Lampard's fault. Or yeah, Havertz has COVID, so I guess maybe he's exempt. I guess, but Havertz is performing bad. That's Lampard's fault.
But I've never said that Havertz performing bad is Lampard's fault because I believe.
No, not you. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Chelsea.
no, I get that. I
so
mean,
you can't.
You can't blame players like for missing a goal or for having an illness. You can't blame a manager for that, but it's just easy to do so.
I
It's
guess
easy.
the only thing you can put on the manager is if a player is not performing well, take them out of the team.
Yeah. Prime, how do you feel about this? Do you think Ronaldo enjoys being managed by Pirlo? How do you feel about that?
I don't know how to answer that. As a player,
Yeah.
especially one of Ronaldo's stature. Would I want to be managed by an inexperienced manager? No. However, I was managed by Zidane. He's a legend, and yeah, Zidane won 3 on the bounce. I don't think Pirlo can ever do that. But if you are going to be managed by an ex-player, then at least someone who's a legend, you're going to respect them. So
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
it's like the same thing with it's the same thing with Lampard. Because he's a legend, he's kind of not given leeway, but he is going to be respected. Yeah, he hasn't won anything or done anything in the managerial game, but because he's an ex-player and he's a legend of the game, he's got that respect.
Yeah,
whereas someone like Arteta, I don't think he might have that respect necessarily. But again, that's different kettle of fish.
How do you feel about this? Ronaldo will be Pirlo's second voice for sure. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, every manager needs a few voices in the team to speak for them as such.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They definitely do. I mean,
which is tough because for Lampard, the voices in the Chelsea team that speak for him, I guess, are Mason Mount, for one. Which I'm not even saying it's a bad thing, but it's because he's young. Does he always have that respect? I don't know.
No, I agree with you there. That's a fair point. Ronaldo at least has the experience. He's been through the ups and the downs. He's done the Premier League, like he's been everywhere, like, and he has that experience to be able to be that second voice. Whereas I don't think any of the youngsters at Chelsea have that experience yet and should have that privilege of being the second voice because they haven't actually had that kind of experience, and you always need experience to be able to be that second voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Bits and Bobs is here.
Yeah. So what? Listen, Charlotte, thank you so much for having me on your first ever hosting show. Listen, everyone in the comments and people that watch this back, make sure you sub and like and obviously big this girl up because, you know, to do what she's doing right now takes a humongous amount of bravery and courage. And also, she's actually quite smart on football. So, so big yourself up. It's a very brief through because my wife's just told me that my dinner's ready. So, happy wife, happy life and all. But listen, well done. Okay. And I'm glad you've chosen to do this. 100%.
Thank you. Definitely going to have you on, though.
No, listen, don't you forget. First of many more and vice versa. You need to come back on us. And Prime,
Definitely.
I'll talk to you soon, bro. You look better, man. So good for you.
Thank you. Enjoy. Go eat. Go enjoy.
Yeah. Go talk. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys, and also hold tight. Shout out Matt for the good work he's doing, and also great host job on you, Charlotte. So well done. Keep going, okay?
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace, bro. Yeah, that's Bits and Bobs.
Yeah, literally. So like who do you think's been the best player out of any London side squad
this season?
Yeah, this season.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane? I would have said, what about Son?
Kane. Son's been brilliant, but Kane's made Son look so good. The way Kane's playing this season, he's the best player in the world, in my opinion. I think he's been better than Messi, better than Ronaldo. This season, anyway.
I mean, I think this season's really hard to call, especially with like all this COVID going around, all the rules. The fact that there wasn't really a preseason, which there wasn't. I mean, I think it's hard to call. Like, do you think if we had a preseason, it would be different?
Yeah, like for example, Lampard tactically, I think he would be not a bit more aware, but he would kind of understand how to get around things with our new players because you have a month to work with them. I think he'd be able to cope with this dip in form much better as well. I look at Liverpool. I don't think they would be performing as bad as they are this season. I think Man City, I don't think they would have started badly. I don't think United would have started badly either.
Yeah.
So yeah, this lack of preseason is affecting so many teams. I
Yeah,
think Spurs also would have started better as well. Then again, it's helped the likes of Aston Villa. It's helped Everton. So,
do you think if we had a pre-season that the table would be a complete different story? Do you think Arsenal would have had their lag? Do you think Spurs would have bottled it again? Like, how do you think it would have played out? Do you think that Man U would be top right now if we'd have had a pre-season?
I don't think Arsenal would be doing as bad as they were doing, but I think they would be like, 12th, 11th, something like that. I think United, would they be top? No. City, I think, would be top. I think City would be clear top. I think Liverpool, how they're doing right now, yeah. Chelsea, we'd be doing
so you think
better.
You think Man City would be top?
Yeah, clear top. I expect Liverpool to win the league because they're champions, and if this team is as good as people say they are, then they should easily retain it. However, Man City, it looks like they will win the league, yeah. But
I think Man City will win the league this season. I genuinely do.
Man City have only had a few good games, and people are saying, so I don't know, but I'm just saying Liverpool because they have to be the safe bet.
I believe that. I believe Man City will win it, not because they've had a good run, but because I think they're capable of winning it. And I think they are capable of making this big comeback. Liverpool have kind of, when Man City made that treble, they kind of had an issue with keeping up at the last minute. Like, it was always they'd a game that they needed to win, or they draw or they lose. And I think it's very important that City have been able to keep a Premier League for 3 years. They did the treble. Like, Liverpool haven't done that. That, like, the first time they won the Premier League was 30 years after they won it the last time. Like, I think there's a massive difference in between that. Like, the team standards. You've got Man City winning a treble, Liverpool winning their first. But if you look at it, Liverpool have won their first ever Premier League, and look at them now, 7-2 to Aston Villa. They're drawing with West Brom. Like, it's a little bit embarrassing to watch. And I'm not saying they're not playing well, but it's like the teams have cracked them, or they know what they're doing. So I think it's very, very interesting. Indiana's with us. He says, is Prime a classic? Prime, I'm going to let you take the floor with this one.
I don't know what that means.
Like, are you a classic? We're talking about classic players. Are you a classic YouTuber? I'm assuming that's what he means. Indiana, what do you mean by this?
If you mean in terms of, is there anyone like me? No. So yeah, maybe I am a classic.
But I mean, how do you, like, the Premier League wise, do you think it's going to be up to the very end, or do you think that one team's going to take ahead?
I think it'll be a title race this season, but Man City.
Do you think it's going to be like the season before? It was like 93, was it 98, 97? Not last season, the season before it was 98, 97.
Points-wise, no, I don't think anyone's getting as many points as that, because the overall quality of the league is just much better.
Yeah. Football Man Sam says, thing is, Liverpool are not performing well at all, but they're second. Liverpool will turn on the style.
I don't think they will.
I think Man City have got the edge. I feel like they've lost more than they have in the last the 4 seasons. A, competing for the last 3 with Man City, and B, with actually winning the Premier League. I feel like they've won it, and now that like that spark and that urge to got it. It's like it's been 30 years, we've won it. That's it. Like I feel like that. It may not be everyone's opinion, but that's how I personally feel. Indiana says, "How do you get that from what I said? We love Prime." He loves Prime. That's great.
We love Prime also.
Football United TV said, "Hoping he is. If he chooses Perlo, before I met Prime, I was going to call myself Padimus Lime." True story, that.
Yep. When I first started using Ladimus Prime for social media and stuff, I had to look up online to make sure no one had that name. So, yeah, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think anyone else, like you literally just get called Prime, like that is it. I mean, it's interesting because if you were going to call it, who would you say is going to win every league? So you've got French League, Spanish League, Italian League. Who do you call each one of them?
Atletico Madrid. I'll say Liverpool for now. Juve, PSG, Bayern Munich, even though they actually might slip this season, but Bayern Munich.
You think they might slip?
I think they might slip.
Ooh. We will see. We will see. I mean, each league is stressing me out a little bit because I usually from about January, maybe not January, like beginning of Feb, end of Feb, you can kind of guess who might win. But I feel like this season you can't. Like you can guess who's going to win. You can say, "Yep, Juve are going to win it." You could say Liverpool are going to win it. Turns out you could be really wrong, and that's kind of the excitement that we haven't had a Premier League or any league. Like every league is suffering. It's not just the Premier League, and every league is very exciting because you never know what team is going to drop points when you play, and I think that makes a difference. Football United TV said, Prime, Perlo or Scholes?
Pirlo's better than Paul Scholes.
I absolutely agree there. I don't think that's particularly up for debate.
Not by much.
Indiana says, please don't do that. I mean,
yeah, not by much, but yeah, people know I love Pirlo. I love Scholes anyway. So
no, I'm not saying Scholes is a bad player, but Perlo for me was more technically beautiful and more magical to watch. Like Scholes wasn't a bad player. I'm not even saying that. Like he was very decent, but personally, for me, it's definitely Perlo. Jem is in the house. He says, yes, people, hope you're well. Yes, Jem. He also says, everyone like and subscribe. Football United TV says, oh, wow, Perlo is better. Stop it, lol. That's because he is a Manchester United fan, just to clarify. Matt is a Man U fan. This is why he's saying this.
Pirlo is better than Scholes.
Yeah, I know, but he's kind of questioned the fact that maybe Perlo isn't better. I mean, he's Perlo's fave player, so I'll go with him. I mean, it's an interesting one. But Prime, I would like you to give me your top 4 for Premier League. You can be wrong all you want, but top 4, name them.
Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Man United, Spurs 5th, but they win the Carabao Cup and the Europa League.
Okay. Now, yours is very different to mine. Mine goes Man City, Liverpool, and I think I literally believe there will be like 2 points between them at the end of there. I think it'll be Man City, Liverpool. I believe Man United will come third, and I personally don't think Chelsea are going to make top four this season. Like that, I would love them to make top four, and I'd love them to be fourth. But I believe Chelsea could come like fifth or sixth. I'd say Chelsea, and I mean I wouldn't put it past Everton or Leicester to go fourth because they've kept up with us for this long. I'm not saying it's perfect, but they've done well so far. So what's to say they can't do well for the rest of the season? You just don't know. But yeah, that's how I call it. Do you think it'll be close between Liverpool and City this season again?
I think it'll be close, but it's not going to be a high points total. Not like the past few seasons.
I think it might be. I think there might be only a couple of points in between them. I think because I think City are getting more confident and getting back to the City we knew, which they haven't been all this season. Liverpool have kind of lost that spark a little bit. They haven't particularly been that Liverpool that we knew, the Liverpool that everyone was scared to attack. Well, not scared to attack, but when Liverpool went on the attack, they went on the attack and you knew about it because there was a goal involved. Whereas their defence, since Van Dijk's been out, they've been very much, their defence has been fragile. Their performance has been mediocre. Look at the last time Trent Alexander-Arnold played. He gave away 38 passes or something like that? Like, that's embarrassing. Like, but I also think that people have overrated, like, they've hyped up Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I don't think he's as good as people have hyped him out to be. Do you agree?
Yep, I've been saying that for ages.
No, I mean, I'm not. I've never said he's the greatest defense player ever. I don't particularly think. I think people that say hype him up are a little bit delusional because I don't think, like, he's showing that he's not capable of being able to hold that standard. And I think people need to accept that he is still young. He's going to make mistakes. Like, he's only 20. Like, we need to step back because this is what we at Chelsea have been doing. We've been expecting such big things from our youth players, and unfortunately sometimes they don't perform, and we can't hype up all these young players and expect a 10 out of 10 performance every time because that's not how it works. Like, Prime, do you think that all the Mount hate, all the Abraham hate is justified, or do you think it's a bit too over the top? Prime, you're on mute. You've muted yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's over the top. I don't like when people say they're young or they're kids because they're not. They've been playing for like 3-4 years now. But it is over the top because I think Mason Mount has been one of our best players this season, or most consistent player this season. One of our most consistent players this season.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just personally, like, I'm not saying he's not done like good things for the team. I'm not saying that at all. But I personally believe he would be better as a super sub because he brings that energy. He brings that talent. Like, he brings a different energy onto the pitch to be able to lift those team up. But I think he's personally better as a super. He's a bit like, I'm not saying he's like, but Giroud's that super sub that comes on and gets that goal or uplifts that team. And I'm not saying always, but the majority of the time he does. But I feel like Mount is...
I think Giroud, look at Giroud. I think Giroud is brilliant when he starts. I'd rather Giroud... Obviously, I'd rather Werner play as a striker, but I'd rather Giroud
So you'd rather Giroud start?
Well, not like... I think when Giroud starts, he's brilliant. I think Mount, when considering the fact we're playing the system with high flying eights, I think he's brilliant.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything like that. I'm just personally saying that I would like to see what happens when Havertz starts and see if Mason Mount does make the difference. Because I could be really wrong. Like I'm not here to hold my hands up, but you know what I mean. Like we've paid this much money for Havertz. I want to get my money's worth. I don't want to pay for. And I get there are factors involving why he's not playing 100%, and I'm not taking that away. But I would like to see what Havertz is like at 100% to be able to like see what happens when Mason Mount comes on, if there's a good connection, or if Mason Mount needs to start and Havertz needs to come on. You know what I mean? You need to get that balance, and you need to find out what's a right balance, and whether it's Havertz starting and Mount coming on, or Mount starting and Havertz coming on. You just don't know, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, but when we were going through that unbeaten run, this wasn't the problem, was it? So
No, I
I don't
agree.
know.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for what we paid for Havertz, I personally believe we should get our money's worth. And I've said this from day one. If we're going to pay that much money for Havertz, I want to get my money's worth. And I get there are factors involving that he's like had COVID and he's recovering. And we don't know the side effects or how long it takes to recover. And I'm not saying anything like that. But I would like to get my money's worth. And I'd like to be able to see what he's capable fit of.
Well, then that's a Lampard thing. You'd have to switch the formation to do that.
But I'm not saying anything against Lampard, because I know he's trying to bring him back in while he's recovering, and I get that.
No, I'm not blaming Lampard. I'm saying Havertz, one of his best positions is playing as a number 10, so we'd have to switch and play with a number 10 to do that.
I mean, would you like to see that?
If it works and for the team, yeah. But Mount, then he wouldn't be playing, or maybe he'd play in a double pivot, but I don't think we have the team to do that. We need an actual defensive midfielder, and Kante won't work doing that.
No, I agree there. I mean, although having N'Golo Kante wasn't playing against Morecambe, and I'm not saying it's a great team or it was a win, like I'll take it, but against Morecambe we looked like the players looked like they wanted to play. And I get it's a little team and it's the FA Cup, and I get that, and it wasn't a big team, but you know, when we played against Man City, like after that second goal, we looked like we didn't turn up at all. Like the lights just went off and we didn't play that great. But I mean, even against the West Ham, like we were lucky at 1-0 at half time that it was still 1-0 at half time. And I feel like in the second half, we kind of let it go a little bit. And even after the first goal, we kind of turned that off. Like we can turn it on and off how we perform. And that frustrates me a lot, because I'm like, I want to see it turned on all the time. You are playing with a badge for Chelsea, and I want to see you play with your heart, and I want to see you play 100%. And I'm struggling, not saying all the time, and I'm not expecting all the time, but the majority of the time, I do expect majority of the players to turn up with 100%. Do you think that's fair, or?
Yeah, but again, we shouldn't always have to turn it on to beat teams.
I mean,
we should sometimes just be able to not glide through games, but with, like, again, look at the West Ham game, for example. We played poor, yes, but with the quality that we have, we can still win 3-0.
No, I get that, but we had that once in the West Ham game, and then the next game we won was Morecambe. Like, that frustrates me, because we're playing these teams like Aston Villa. I believe personally we should have won 2-1. Like, that's just my personal opinion, and I believe we should have won 2-1, and we didn't. The Man City game, after that second goal, the first goal, we still had like a little bit of the light left on. And then after the second goal, it was just like, nah, done. I'm just going to give up. Let's just give them a third. Like, I don't like. We need that mentality where even if they get a goal, we need to come back and bounce back, and we're not bouncing back quick enough. We're not coming back quick enough. We're not attacking quick enough when they've got a goal. When they get a goal, we seem to like deflate a little bit, and that frustrates me because that's not how it should be. Like we shouldn't be like this. It's not how it works. Like against the little teams, like we seem to be succeeding, but we've beaten a top 10 team, and that's West Ham. Like for me, that's a little bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. And I'm going to be honest here, like it's a little bit embarrassing for me because I want to see my team do well. I want to see Frank do well. I don't want to see Frank fail. He is not only my manager, he is a legend. He is a club legend that I grew up watching. I don't want to see him fail. Like that man, I grew up watching, and I don't want to see him fail, but I
don't think he has failed.
I'm not saying he has. I don't want to see him fail. Like eventually, I don't, because I feel like you've got these Chelsea fans with the like Lampard out, the Werner out, the Havertz out, the like Abraham out, the Mount agenda, like all these like players, and I'm not saying like I haven't said shit like out of anger, because I really have, but I think that just shows that I care for my team. Like, and I've always taken it back afterwards because I say stuff in anger, and I think every fan has done that. But I just get frustrated because I'm like, this is my team. Like, this is what I've grown up watching, and to see my team struggle is hard. It's really hard to watch. And I think anyone can agree that it's hard to watch your team struggle. Like Man U have been through that. Chelsea have gone through that. Arsenal have been through that. Like Liverpool with that loss of 7-2 that I keep reminding them of. But, you know, like it's a struggle for every team. But I always think it's hard because when you're having a bad patch, it's always hard and the comeback needs to be good. Like, how do you feel about that, Prime?
Again, I just think fans overreact. Like I kept saying, the only reason why fans have started dividing is because we lost to Arsenal.
Do you think we should have lost to Arsenal?
If we'd beaten Arsenal, but we'd lose to Aston Villa and we lose to Man City, I don't think fans would be overreacting. I honestly believe it's just because we lost to Arsenal. Again, that's not me saying we don't have problems. We do. But it's because we lost to Arsenal, everyone's overreacting.
You know what? My issue wasn't with the fact that we lost to Arsenal. My issue was with the way we played against Arsenal. My issue was not with Arsenal, it's the way we played against them. The way we played against them, to me, was not of a standard that I was happy with. It wasn't even a standard that any team should be happy with. I'm pretty sure that League One and League Two players are playing better than them, the way they played against Arsenal, because the way they played against Arsenal, they looked like Arsenal dominated them. Arsenal genuinely dominated them, and it made us look poor. And that's saying something from Arsenal, who were really struggling to make us look poor. And do you know?
Yeah, but again, Arsenal didn't do anything to us. We just played really badly.
That's what I'm saying.
We played how Man United played against them. It was only because Arsenal got a lucky penalty, which it is a penalty, but it's soft. They got a quality free kick from Xhaka, but Mendy has to do better there. And a lucky goal from Saka. Other than that, like, what did they actually do? I don't think they did anything.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And this is that time to kind of wrap it up, you guys.
Thank you for having me on today. Thank you.
That's all right. Prime, I want to say a massive thank you to you for coming on and being my first guest. Matt, thank you for letting me do this. And guys, we will be seeing you next week. Prime, do you want to tell people where they can find you on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere? Where can people find you?
I don't promote my Instagram because I don't really do anything on it, but my Twitter is down below. Until we beat Arsenal again, I can't really rattle them anymore. But just follow me on there, and anything I do or any streams I'm on, you will know about. I'm actually meant to be on another stream right now, but I'm sacrificing that for Charlotte, so you're welcome.
Thank you, Prime. My favourites. Matt, where can people find you?
Oh, mate. Yeah, Football United TV, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Go check out Ladimus Prime. He did a vlog earlier. He did 2 vlogs at once, actually. We watched that. We saw that, didn't we? Very, very. I want to know who was on your YouTube playing. It was you, wasn't it, Prime?
Oh yeah, because I'm yeah.
You were on Elena's and you were on YouTube. Because I was watching you on YouTube, and then Charlotte goes, "He's on Elena's show."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because I'm playing. Yeah, I'm playing FIFA. I didn't know I was still live, but yeah.
Hardest working man in football fans.
Yeah, literally. If you want to see, guys, you need to go follow Prime and follow Football United TV. You can find Prime on basically every YouTube video you open on football or Chelsea or anything like that, because if you just open it and boom, Prime's there. So
also,
guys,
Matt, when are you creating your own Twitter account?
For me, for my own personal thing.
Yeah, because Football United TV is not yours; it's for the channel. So
No. I didn't really want to go on as
it's in the making, Prime. Don't worry.
Oh wow, okay. I'll let you control that then, Charlotte. Cool. It's coming.
sorry,
It's
I
coming.
wasn't even. I just thought it was not something I discussed with you. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, Prime, and I never have everything, the Instagram. Well, you might know my personal Instagram because it is sort of linked together, but
Yeah.
it's all Football United TV. Yeah, I wanted to keep it. Otherwise, I get into politics, Prime, and that, and then it just gets really salty.
Yeah. Right, guys, we'll wrap it up now. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you next week.